Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Helen from Crafty Sew and Sew. Today I'm going to talk to you about 9 amazing sewing tools that are going to change your sewing life. So these are things that I've just picked up all over the years. They're not something I just got straight away. But if you are new to sewing or you're wanting to build up your sewing supplies, then this is a fantastic video for you because these are things that I've tried and tested from the product itself to the different brands, and this is what I've come up with. So number 1 on the list is sewing clips. So something I discovered probably about a year or two ago now are sewing clips. They're just literally like little pegs or something that you use instead of using pins. Because I tend to find pins a little bit like too hard to use sometimes, or I find them hard to grip, or if I'm in a rush or when I'm sewing and want to take them out, I find them a little too fiddly. So sewing clips have been a great alternative for me because they're easier to use, easier to grasp hold of, and they're just a lot more easier to find when they go on the floor. If you haven't already seen, I have done a full review of different sewing clip brands, and I've tested out this product. I've tested out the products, I've compared them to each other, and I have done a full review of them, so you can check out the description below for a full link for that video, and you can see for yourself which ones that you might want to buy and which ones are worth it for you. Though in my honest opinion, I prefer the clover ones, which are a little bit more expensive, but they're definitely more durable, or the ones that you can get from Aldi when they have their sewing events on. Number 2 on the list is a rotary cutter. So I discovered a rotary cutter is a really good way to cut out fabric, whether you are looking at making clothes or doing patchwork and quilting. Either way, you can use a rotary cutter, and it's just a lot simpler than using a pair of scissors. If you struggle to kind of have the scissors in hand and use the motion, if that's something you struggle with, a rotary cutter can eliminate that factor, make it a little bit easier on your hands, and you don't have to feel like you're kind of cramping up as you go along. I also really like rotary cutters because you can change the blade. You don't have to change the full thing. Yes, scissors can be sharpened, but they don't often get back to their brand new state that they were in. But you can buy new blades for a rotary cutter, keep the same handle and everything, and just buy new blades to fit it. And it's just a little bit more cost effective than having to buy a new pair of scissors. And they're a lot easier to handle compared to scissors. Number 3 on the list is a heat pen. So this is a pen that you can use like a normal biro type of pen to mark on notches, darts, and anything that you want on your fabric, but as soon as heat goes to it, it does disappear. There is some that are a little bit not as great, but the friction heat pen is probably the best one on the market. I'll leave a link to it in the description, so if you want to buy one, you can get it just quick and easy there. And yeah, so the heat pen is great because you don't have to worry about any kind of chalk lines being left behind. You don't have to worry about any other lines being left behind, and it's really simple to use, and all you need to do is iron over the line and it's gone. Number 4 on the list is a cutting mat. So when I started to get into patchwork a little bit more, I decided that a rotary cutter and a cutting mat was definitely worth having, and so I've kind of built up a few different sizes of cutting mats, from my normal A3 to an A2, and then I've also got a rotating. So I'll leave links to each one that I have in the description below. But a cutting mat is perfect because it protects your surface from cutting. It protects your rotary cutter from getting dull while being used on the wrong surface, and it's just all round good. A self-healing cutting mat is great because it's self-healing. You can clean it, you can wash it in a bath of like warm water and vinegar, and that kind of gets rid of any pen stains, any other kind of paint stains, and it also helps heal the fibres of the mat, so then it's nice and new again to use. Number 5 on the list is a sewing gauge, or gauge. I don't know how people say it, but I say gauge. And this is a small like little template type thing that can help you work out your seam allowances. It can help you kind of use it as a mini ruler, and it kind of just can help you keep in check with your sewing lines, your seam allowances, where you want to be sewing, what you don't want to be sewing, and things like that. It's a really helpful piece of equipment that kind of helps any kind of beginner or even somebody who's a little bit more advanced like me, to kind of keep things in check, double check things, make sure they're right, especially if you're doing something that's quite intricate and you need to really keep a close eye on your measurements and how you're sewing and things like that. That's really handy to have. Number 6 on the list is a leather thimble. So I don't often use thimbles. I find them really hard to use. They make my fingers sweat. It's disgusting. It's just not nice. I'd never really liked to use them until I discovered that I could have a leather thimble, which was obviously a lot better. The fabric's more breathable, but there's still the good protection for your finger. Leather thimbles, you can get them in a number of sizes, so no matter if you've got little hands or big hands, or you're a man compared to a woman, anything like that, no matter what, there is a size available for you. They are a little bit more expensive than a normal thimble, but they are definitely worth the price due to how great they actually are. I also really like the leather thimble because it's really handy for if you do a lot of hand sewing, if you do a lot like embroidery, or you just really enjoy hand sewing, then you can have a leather thimble, protect your hands and make sure that you can carry on doing what you love for longer. Number 7 on the list is bias binding mice. So I have a pack of 4, which gives me like 4 different sizes of bias binding, but if you find making bias binding on your own quite hard, or you really struggle to kind of get the folds in the right place and things like that, it can be quite a tricky kind of thing to do. So if that's something you struggle with, or you just rather have something quick and easy to help you, then bias binding mice are perfect for this. They're easy to use, easy to store, and they're also just quick and easy to kind of use, have around, and especially if you're having to make a lot of bias binding for anything, then these are perfect because you literally can just pull the fabric through, iron it, pull, iron, and just keep going that way, and it's just a dream. Number 8 on the list is a mini iron. So I don't know how many times I'm going to have to shout this to the world, but a mini iron is so handy for a sewing room. No matter how much sewing you do compared to, if it's just for a hobby or a business or whatever, a mini iron is perfect for a sewing room because if you are doing a lot of little seams, especially if you're doing patchwork, this is perfect. Because it's mini, like a travel iron, it's small, you can have it sat on your desk where you're working. So I often have it right next to me with a mat underneath, and it's just easy because then you can keep it on. You don't have to run downstairs to the iron or walk over to the other side of the room for the big iron. And it's just nice because it's nice and compact, so if you do a lot of intricate work as well, it's perfect for that. I really like having the mini iron because it's just quick and easy to use. I can leave it on, it can be in my workspace without being too much in the way. There's less harm to me because it's so small and compact, and I can keep it kind of still in my arm's reach or whatever. But it's not, so big that I'm going to accidentally burn myself. It's just really handy because it's so small, compact. I can have it nearby, but it's not going to cause any kind of damage or accidents. If you don't already know, I do have a full review blog post and YouTube video on the 4 best mini irons on the market. I'll leave a link in the description for you, so if you feel like checking that out, go do so. There's a different variety there, so depending on what you're wanting it for, you definitely can find something that's going to suit your budget and your needs. Personally, I like the Prim one, though my second best is the Geronic. But yeah, go check that video out so you can find out which one is best for you. And finally, number 9 is a wool felt heat mat. So along with the mini iron on the desk, you want to have something that's going to protect your surface from, getting destroyed by the heat. Something that works well for this is a wool felt heat mat. It's just a kind of like probably just less than an inch thick wool felted mat. You can get them in different sizes, but it's great because you can have it on your work surface, and as long as you don't use too much steam, make sure you don't use too much steam, you are perfect for using that. It's also great because it pushes the heat back up towards the iron and towards the fabric that you're working on to kind of keep, you know, kind of compress it in both sides. So you're not just ironing one side, it's like it's pushing from both sides, which makes it perfect for patchwork because it gets really like crisp and nice lines out of your fabric. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful. Make sure you check out all the links in the description for all the things I've talked about. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and check out the rest of my videos. I'll leave links in the description and to the side, either side, one of the sides. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.